It's important to understand that daily physical activity is a vital component for healthy living from an early age. Regular participation in physical activity is associated with many healthy physical and mental benefits, contributing to a healthy lifestyle, maintenance of a healthy body weight, healthy blood pressure levels, enhanced mobility and self-confidence, alongside improved social and academic development. The benefits of swimming have long been associated with health and wellness and have been prescribed by health professionals to great effect. This focus on health and wellness is just one way in which swimming fits into the UK's healthcare model. However, it is vital that health professionals put into practice more programmes that offer children a better active start in life. This will help them learn the basic fundamental movement skills that will improve their overall physical literacy. Just by following some of the simple guidelines, we can increase the chances of our children, our future population, into becoming more physically active for life and even greater chances of sporting success. So we now know that being physically active later in life depends on feeling confident in certain activity settings. And that confidence as an adult most often comes from positive experiences as a direct result of mastering fundamental movement skills as a child. But importantly, there's one thing we need to understand from the outset, and that is to never impose adult-related training and competition demands onto our children. In order to create a more active and healthier population, all children need to be involved in a gradual, structured development that includes a wide range of basic movement skills that provide the foundation for them to excel in sports throughout their lifetime. This is called physical literacy. Research has shown that without the development of physical literacy, many children withdraw from physical activities and turn to more inactive choices for their leisure time. Physical literacy is developed through the learning of key fundamental movement skills. Once mastered, the focus then moves to developing more fundamental sport skills. This important developmental phase has key implications for life, as it allows a child to move competently and confidently in a range of sports and physical activities. They will be able to display more movement control and a wider range of emerging physical and mental skills. Physical literacy also starts to develop a more improved spatial awareness and better all-round decision-making skills. Physical literacy development also provides an improved all-round awareness, which is basically an ability to read what is going on around you in a sporting context. Children then start to develop a more appropriate knowledge of rules, ethics and values, alongside technical and tactical reactions relative to the activity they are participating in. In order for children to maximise their experiences of physical literacy, there are 4 key sporting environments that the physical literacy professional should be aware of, and it starts here in the playground. This is the starting point for most fun-based games and activities such as hopscotch, tag, skipping, catch and many others. Remember, if we don't fill the playground, we'll never fill the podium. The pitch, a staple environment for sport-specific games to take place. For example, football, rugby, cricket or rounders. The pool, this is where we can transfer many of the skills learned from the playground and pitch into the pool. We can then start to include the learning of water-based skills too. It's important to understand that the better you are at land-based skills, the better you'll be in the water. Aero, the ideal environment and equipment for gymnastic and rebound activities such as trampolining, jumping, diving and other flight-based fun and games. The learning and continuous practice of fundamental movement skills are the basic building blocks for further development of physical literacy. Progressive practice of these skills are essential if children are to feel positive when taking part in physical activity, be it for fun, for health, or for competitive sport reasons. In other words, the pursuit of excellence must be continuous. The difference between fundamental movement skills and fundamental sport skills is very straightforward to understand. It is simply the transfer of basic skills that have been learned and applied to specific sport situations. In the fundamental movement skills stage, children learn basic aspects of movement action. For example, agility, balance, coordination and speed, running, jumping and throwing, kinesthetics, gliding, buoyancy and striking with the body, catching, passing, kicking and striking with an implement. For example, throwing is a fundamental movement skill. A child learning this skill should learn to throw lots of different sized objects with each hand and also with both hands. They should learn to throw at different speeds, sometimes for distance and sometimes for accuracy, using a wide range of different targets. When the child learns to throw, they can then try to apply this better in a sporting environment. For example, a cricket game. They can then use their newly learned skill in a fun and games-based way, adopting a cricket ball, throwing action and trying to get the ball towards a specific target. For example, the stumps or other participants. In this situation, they have moved from learning a fundamental movement skill to learning a fundamental sports skill. So remember, in order to fill the podium, we need to fill the playground. However, we not only have to show children where the playground is nowadays, we also have to tell them what it's for too. All children should be exposed to regular physical literacy activities. However, it will take a massive effort. It appears to be something of a lost art in today's society. It will require the combined efforts of preschool and school teachers, parents and other school staff members alongside community sports leaders if we're to be successful across all sports and not just swimming. At present, many children can and will pick up basic skills purely through unstructured gameplay. However, this is usually achieved through guesswork. Some children will not acquire skills as easily or as quickly as others. And for those young people, the consequences can have major implications on their long-term skill development unless it is identified by the teacher or coach. Children who pick up physical skills quickly often enjoy energetic, dynamic and healthy activity sessions, whilst the less skilled very often become an afterthought or are left out of activities completely. This quite simply means that those who are less skilled play less, they will have fewer opportunities to develop and refine their skills and will in turn fall even further behind their more skill-developed peers. Eventually, these skill-neglected children become dispirited, disappointed and disengaged, which leads to a complete withdrawal from any form of physical activity altogether. More importantly, we lose another potential competitive sport participant for life. So we have to ask the question, just how many have slipped through the net? In swimming, we need to prevent this from occurring. But first, appropriate physical literacy development needs to be encouraged. Every child in the UK is entitled to be able to practice and participate in a range of sports and activities. Even the world's best swimmers benefit in their early years from being taught a wide range of skills in a multitude of environments. And because of this, many different people need to be involved from the outset. So further development is needed through an expert and dedicated teaching and coaching workforce. So we now know that by not having the key skills to play is one major reason why children drop out of any physical activity altogether. Children need lots of praise and extensive support to ensure that they are in continuous skill learning situations that result in them not only having the capabilities to learn and develop, but also to enjoy fundamental movement practices. It is important to understand that the longer you leave it before a skill is learned, then the whole chain of skill learning can then become more difficult too. It is vital that children learn fundamental movement skills before attempting to master fundamental sport skills because, quite simply, if you don't learn the correct movement skill, you cannot perform the correct sport skill. Trying to skip this process will definitely have implications on skill development and sporting ability later on. With deliberate play and practice, children will see more specific skills naturally emerge. Their skill learning and evolving development will improve significantly if given the opportunity for repeated fun and games-based practice. So monitoring of each child's emergent skill development is absolutely vital. So, we need to understand that all children are entitled to be physically active. We need them to understand what the playground is for and for them to take part in a wide range of movement activities. We need teachers, coaches, parents, carers to be encouraging children, including those with disabilities, to engage in a range of deliberate play activities. So remember, learning sport-specific skills before mastering fundamental movement skills can affect performance capabilities later on in life. So, in short, don't run before you can walk. If you don't know the skill, you cannot perform the skill.